Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Jamin's Daily, episode 55, coming to you on a January the 11th, Monday. Just the college football playoffs, the national title championship game is pretty much over. A couple minutes left. Looks like Alabama is going to win. And that's going to lead us into our topics for today. Let's see what we can find and what's going on in the world, folks, and how I can have a hot take on it. Okay, so man allegedly stabbed a Walmart worker over the price of milk. I'm not surprised that is what the world is coming to for people at home. You know, why are you going to stab somebody over the price of milk? Let's find out. Walmart. We all been there. None of us are surprised that going to Walmart could lead to a stabbing. This is in Connecticut. You know, I was going to lean towards Florida or maybe New Mexico. I don't know. A Connecticut man was arrested for stabbing a Walmart clerk over the price of milk, police said. The assault happened shortly after noon Sunday at a Walmart in Waterbury, according to various local media reports. 40-year-old Jamin Asfar of Stamford stabbed the cashier in the head with a folding knife after she scanned a gallon of milk and told him the price. The 19-year-old victim fell to the floor after the attack. She was taken to St. Mary's Hospital for a puncture wound behind her left ear. She told police she did not know the suspect. What the heck? This guy is a menace to society. Asfer was arrested on charges including first-degree assault, police said. He was awaiting arraignment Monday. It wasn't clear if he had an attorney who could speak for him. Guys, listen, everybody's amped up for all kinds of reasons. COVID, the elections, what you see in the news. Everything in the news is terrible. People are struggling out there. When it comes to, a lot of people not working. And so everybody just needs to be on guard. Your head needs to be on a swivel. Because this poor girl, she's scanning groceries, and the next thing you know, she's getting stabbed in the head. No bueno. I mean, this guy could have... I'm curious to know what kind of blade he had, but, I mean, when you stabbing somebody in the head, that is like attempted murder. But we'll see. Let's move on to the next topic. Maybe we can find something a little more uplifting, perhaps. I don't know if any of these topics, I don't think any of them. Oh, here's one for the dreamers. For all the dreamers, and not like the undocumented. I mean, like dreamers, like just anybody who dreams. Huge mega yacht with gym, pool, helipad, and its own exclusive beach is revealed. Oh, let's find out, guys. Let's find out. Everybody likes to do this. Pretend. Fantasize. I'll never have a yacht, but still like to know about it a little bit. This yacht's called Indah. Like in the house, maybe? Like in the face. Which means beautiful one in Indonesian. Oh, okay, maybe if I would have just read a couple more sentences. Words, not sentences. The cutting-edge creation has been referred to as a floating palace due to its attention to detail and array of features. Let's look. Ooh, very futuristic. I wonder if that seems to be a rendition and not actually the yacht on water. But maybe I'm wrong. It says the Indah can accommodate a crew of 32 along with up to 24 guests and 12 expertly decorated cabins. A billionaire's mega yacht has been unveiled with a 394 vessel replete with a full-size gym and spa, jacuzzi, sunbeds, and giant pool, and even a helipad. Listen, I think all the yachts have that stuff. Called Inda. We just read this. We read that too. The main suite, made for the owner, comes with its own dedicated aft deck balcony. And I wish I knew what that meant. Or, I'm not privy to the lingo of yacht accessories. But Opalinsky Design House are the developers behind the incredible naval design, which features a helicopter landing pad and hangar. Nice. It's definitely a rendering. I wonder if that's what it's actually going to look like. It doesn't say what the cost of it was, which is what we all want to know. But I don't know. Who cares? I don't think I've ever been... Okay, I've been on a cruise. But in terms of a private boat, I think I've been on a sailboat that was maybe 24, 32 feet. I mean, a ferry doesn't count. I've been on a private jet, but I haven't been on a yacht. So maybe that's a bucket list, folks at home. Moving on into the vaccine world. And when we talk about the vaccine, basically means the video cannot go viral. Because you're not supposed to talk about the vaccine. Unless you're an expert, which I'm not. I'm not an expert in pretty much anything that we talk about on this podcast. I'm not an expert on, folks. And in the rare occasion that whatever it is we're talking on, maybe perhaps I'm an expert on, I'm going to let you know. Vaccine requirements for travel would be discrimination. Global Tourism Group says. I think I agree. I mean, listen, they're always talking about how, people, certain groups of people are more likely to be affected by things. So like they've been saying, this whole pandemic affects certain people more than others. And same is going to go for people who want to travel. And it's a discriminating situation, because if you want to go somewhere, but somebody is going to say, well, listen, do you have your vaccine? And you're like, well, no. And then they're not going to let you go. Is that discrimination? I mean, we're in uncharted territory, folks. It says, in a Reuters panel discussion where health experts also expressed a long road to global herd immunity, the head of the organization called the Global Prioritization of Vulnerable Groups and admonished those touting potential vaccine requirements for a return to travel. We should never require the vaccination to get a job or to travel. The WTTC chief executive, Gloria Guevara, said in the Reuters video panel, if you require the vaccination before travel, that takes us to discrimination. You see, folks? Discrimination is bad. And making people like this is where we're going to have to make these hard decisions that they tell you, like, oh, well, we're going to make businesses fail because we have to close them. And then it's going to be, okay, if that is acceptable, if businesses are going to fail, people losing their jobs is an acceptable effect, or right, from closing, shutting things down. Why can't you then discriminate when it comes to travel? We're already crossing these boundaries of what's you would think would be the norm and acceptable. So if you can force people into bankruptcy because they have to close their small business, why can't I discriminate against people who don't have a vaccine? I don't know. We're going to find out. I guess the lawyers will figure it out, right? I'm imagining there's going to be all kinds of years and years of litigation over all this. It says everything travelers need to know about vaccine passports. Whoa. In November, Qantas CEO, Qantas is I think a airport or airliner, said that the Australian airline probably will require proof of vaccination for travel once shots are widely available. Guevara cited that stance and said she disagrees with the approach. So, again, this is where I can already see lawsuits. Can you sue? Like, okay, this is what they've been talking about with the whole tech thing and banning Trump from Twitter and all these other things is, well, it's a private company. If they want to make it a requirement to have the vaccination in order to fly, why can't they? All right? Terms of service. The terms of service is, listen, you have to have vaccinations, certain vaccinations. Terms of service. That's the new censorship. That's the new discrimination, folks, is terms of service. The council is part of a growing chorus of travel voices that say a return to travel will come before vaccines create worldwide herd immunity. Says this, the International Air Transport Association has also been calling for a global testing strategy to replace quarantines and restart travel now. You know, these are all like lobbying groups for the travel industry and airliners and stuff. So they're always going to be like, listen, we need to fly. They're all for more travel. And or probably don't have people's health. And that's like not the number one priority. And last week's America's biggest airlines lobbied the White House to enact that strategy to replace quarantines and restart. We'll see what happens. See what Biden, the thing is they're lobbying for this, but, Biden and the left have been all about, got to shut it down. Just watch the football games. Getting back to the college football game that was on tonight. They were playing in Florida. Lots of fans. There were other games during this bowl season which they played in Democrat-run states. California. Washington State. No fans. Okay. And I remember talking to my dad. My dad's like, why are there some fans here and some fans there? I was like, just depends on who's running the state. And is it right or wrong? I mean, are more people going to get COVID because more people went to a football game? An outdoors football game? Thing is, we're at the point I wish people, the politicians should all come up and be like, listen, there's really, what can you do? I know like in California, they're telling people not even to leave your house. Like just leaving your house is a risky endeavor. That's so sad. There's a lot of COVID going around everywhere now, and I still just go about my business. I wear a mask when they tell me I need to. And I think the politicians should just come out and be like, it's out. More people are going to get it. Vaccines are coming. This is like it was kind of strange how everybody thinks, oh, there's going to be some miracle cure-all, like there was going to be like this hard end to it, and it's not. It's going to linger. It's more of like a multiple year kind of situation, which nobody wants to hear. But I think in a criticism of Trump, that could have been the messaging from the beginning. But nobody wants to hear that. I didn't want to hear that. I still don't, but I'm telling you folks. So are you going to get the vaccine? I haven't gotten it. They just now are making them available to this normies like me and you. But I've heard there's quite a bit of people who aren't, even within the health sector. I saw on the internet, so it has to be true, an article talking about an alarming amount of frontline workers are not getting the vaccination. So I don't know what that means. But lastly, we're going to close this episode with a very controversial last topic. One that is, I feel like I have the liberty to talk about. So this girl, there's some lady who is a gamer. Haley Deegan apologizes to everyone who was offended by her use of slur during Twitch. So we gotta have in not every podcast, but in most podcasts, we always gotta have a woke moment. Okay, folks? Because we need to be educated and learned on the things you can and can't say. So it says here, NASCAR driver. She's in NASCAR. I really, when I was doing the prep and I saw Twitch, I thought she was like a gamer, like a streamer. But apparently, maybe she is a streamer on her. Is that like her side hustle or something? So, but NASCAR driver Haley Deegan apologized to everyone who was offended by it for saying the R word during a Sunday night Twitch stream. So the R word, folks. I think most people, if you went to them and said the R word, do you know what the R word is? Most people might be onto it, but not everybody. It's not like the N word. When you tell I have 9 out of 10 people, if you say, do you know what the N word is? They're like, yes. But you're like, well, do you know what the R word is? There's going to be a higher percentage of people who don't know what the R word is. Okay, folks. Deegan, who was streaming for the first time. Really? The first time? On her Twitch channel? Who was broadcasting a virtual race that she was participating in. And she was talking on her microphone over caution and used the slur to ask about a driver who was behind her. Come on now. These pop-up ads, man. How are they still on the internet in 2021 is all I want to know. They must still work. Earlier tonight, I used an insensitive word during an online race being broadcast on Twitch. This Haley girl's apologizing. It was inappropriate slang and a stupid thing to do. I apologize to everyone who was offended by it. There's no excuse for it, and I know I have to do better for my sponsors and my fans. Haley Deegan. Aw, heart emoji. I forgive you. This is funny. So, NASCAR on Monday. So the next day, NASCAR says that, hey, Deegan, she's going to have to go through sensitivity training. How hilarious and corny is that? Ford, which signed Deegan to be part of its driver development program ahead of the 2020 season, issued a statement Monday morning about her slur. We are aware of this inappropriate comment. Haley immediately acknowledged this mistake, has apologized, and promised to be more thoughtful in the future. She's 19. Okay, this girl's 19 and is the daughter of a motocross legend, Brian Deegan, and is already one of the more popular drivers in NASCAR, despite making just one track start series. Man, I'm going to put up a photo. We're going to find a photo of this lady. Deegan became the first woman to win a NASCAR ARCA Series race in 2018. Okay, so see, she's a driver. She's trying to, expand and stream on Twitch, and she used the R word. Now, the R word. I guess I can't. Can you not say it? The thing is about the R word. I feel like there are and there is appropriate context for it to be used. It can't be like, where we have the N word, in which there's like no acceptable situation in which you can use it, even in any kind of context or historical context. You just can't say it. which is weird in our Western culture. It's very rare for that to be the case. For something to be just so taboo that you can't even bring it up at all. I don't know what that says. But, so the R word now. You're saying that in a, I don't know, medical situation, in a clinical situation, in a situation which you are referring to somebody's, disabilities or inabilities, mental, their cognitive disabilities, and you're describing using adjectives. You can't say retarded. Something that's been retarded by something. I mean, that's what I'm saying. This needs to be clarified in 2021, because to call somebody the R word in a demeaning way, or refer to something that's just kind of dumb as the R word, as slang, like Haley said, one, free speech, say what you want. I'm not gonna, and that's because I have a son who has mental disabilities, okay, who has a genetic disorder in which he has mental delays, noticeable mental delays, okay. By any definition, like a clinical definition, he is has some mental retardation, okay. It is what it is. And so me myself, one, the R word, people don't use it. It's actually been one of those things where I don't come across it very much. But when a 19-year-old young girl uses it, probably in a silly way, I'm not saying it's right. What I am concerned about is, I don't want for it to join the list of words people can't even say. I don't agree with that, folks. We don't want to be adding to the list of censorship, okay, guys? Not here on Jamin's Daily. And we'll leave you with that, folks. Episode 55. Don't forget that this podcast is brought to you by Sage Choice Insurance Agency. And you can give us a call at 361-400-2411. But better than that, you can go to quotefromjamin.com and get a home quote, auto quote. You can get both, bundle, save all around business insurance. Just go to that URL. It'll pop up this amazing, like 5G form that you just type in a little bit of, on your phone. Just boop, 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 some data. We get information. We call you with the quote, save you money. That's how it works. Sage Choice Insurance. Jamin's Daily. Me, your host, Jamin. I want to thank you for joining us, folks. Stick with us because the best is yet to come.